Operation Torch was the Allied invasion of Vichy France's North African territories in November 1942. This was to open a front on the German army in Africa. American and British troops took part in the invasion, and it was the first time they had worked on an invasion plan together. Lieutenant General Dwight D. Eisenhower was the commander-in-chief of the Allied invasion forces. Since America was still too weak to invade Europe itself, they decided to attack French North Africa because the Axis defenses were not as strong there as they were in Nazi-controlled Europe. From North Africa, the plan was to invade Sicily and then on to mainland Italy and move up to the so-called soft underbelly of Europe.
Victory in the region would also do a great deal to clear the Mediterranean Sea of Axis shipping and leave it more free for the Allies to use. The Allies planned to invade Morocco and Algeria. Both these countries were under the rule of Vichy France. As the Vichy government in France was seen by the Allies to be in collaboration with Nazi Germany, both North African states were considered to be good targets. There were about 60,000 French troops in Morocco with a small naval fleet based at Casablanca. Rather than fight the French, plans were made to gain the cooperation of the French army.
General Eisenhower was given command of Operation Torch, and in the planning phase, he set up his headquarters in Gibraltar. The key to Operation Torch was an successful amphibious landing. 3 landing sites were chosen: Casablanca, which is in French Morocco, Oran, and Algiers. The Western Task Force was to land near Casablanca at Safi, Rabat, and Media, and Major General George Patton commanded it. 35,000 troops were in this task force. The Central Task Force was to land at Oran. It was commanded by Major General Lloyd Frendenhall. 18,500 troops were in the task force. The Eastern Task Force was to land at Algiers, and General Ryder commanded it. 20,000 troops were in his task force. The resistance put up by the French was more than an inconvenience as opposed to a major military problem. The key target for Patton was the capture of Casablanca.
The first sub-task force, codenamed Blackstone, landed near the key city of Safi. The second and most important city was Casablanca, codenamed Brushwood. They led massive attack on Casablanca until it was fully taken over. The third and final location was Port Matouille. Sub-task force goal post took over the city.
Those were all General Patton's men, but Oran was taken over by the Central Task Force, led by United Kingdom Major General Lloyd Frendenhall. His 18,000 troops took the key city of Oran. Finally, the Eastern Task Force was responsible for Algiers, a main port city. General Ryder of the United Kingdom took over the city.
The landings at all 3 beaches were highly successful. French resistance had been minimal, as were Allied casualties. After consolidating their forces, the Allies moved into Tunisia. After Montgomery's success at El Alamein, the Africa Corps was in retreat. However, the further it moved west from El Alamein, the nearer it got to the recently landed Allied troops. The only fighting took place in the port of Algiers itself, where in Operation Terminal 2 British destroyers attempted to land a party of U.S. raiders directly into the dock, in order to prevent the French destroying port facilities and scuttling ships. Heavy artillery fire prevented one from landing and drove the other from the docks after a few hours, leaving 250 of the infantry behind. The landing troops pushed quickly inland, and the Allies won on November 8th. At 18.